Hey, everybody. I hope you're doing well. Thanks for coming today. Happy holidays. Welcome to the room. We're going to have a brand new presenter today. Well, I wouldn't say that's a brand new presenter, but he hasn't presented a Metastock for a while. So it's going to be a good treat. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're staying healthy. I hope you're staying safe. Let's go ahead and get to the legal disclaimer. Today's demonstration is designed to instruct you on using Metastock and the accompanying software plugins. It's not a recommendation to buy or sell, but rather guidelines to interpreting and using specific indicators within the indicators and features within the software. The information, software, and techniques presented today should only be used by investors who are aware of the risk inherent in trading. Metastock shall have no liability for any investment decisions based on the use of the software, any trading strategies, or any information provided in connection with the company. So I do want to welcome out for the first time in a while, Peter Dalal. Peter is somebody that goes back a long time with Metastock. I believe we were selling this FXTA program called FX Traders Advantage. FXTA is what we'd always call it internally. It was a very, very popular product, and I believe it was right around 15 years ago that we were selling it. Peter's a great guy. He's been working kind of on the methodologies and algorithms and the stuff with his daughter Serbi, which is in the picture. Peter's with us, Serbi is not with us, but he's done a really, really good job of refining some things over the years, and today he's going to talk about them. So that's really kind of the intro that I have for him. I would say that of Peter, what I would talk about with Peter is he's a very, very details-oriented guy, which makes a great technician. So let's go ahead and bring him on here, have him talk to us and kind of do the presentation. So Peter, how are you doing today?
All right, can you see my bio? Then I'm sure that it is working.
I see some handsome dude off to the left, or to the right.
All right, thank you very much. All right, so thank you very much, everybody. All right, we're going to get started. So my name is Peter Dalal. I hold Series 3 and 34 CFD licenses, and I've been trading as an investor as well as on a Wall Street. I spent a lot of years having Series 7 663, and I have some kind of history on a Wall Street. So basically, I have been even training a lot of licensed people behind the scene for more than 15 years. And at one point we ran, right, number of years, all professional room to teach all the professional. So today we already doing room for Metastock. So these are the topics we're going to talk about it. So a little bit to give you heads up, right? We're going to talk about my patterns, how and why I invented. And at one point for Reuters, I was teaching all over the country as well as internationally about technical analysis. So now we took another turn, right, to save time for people so they don't have to do too much technical analysis, because running multiple businesses, that's what I needed to do it. So I could do everything kind of things, right? But basically that saved me a lot of time, and we're going to talk about it. So these are some of the topics, like price preceptors, very important, right? We're going to talk about new inventions, and pardon me, those traditional indicators, we stayed away from it. So these are brand new things tested over 15 years in a real time with real money. So basically you should also think that we are not starting from today. We really started institutional side on 2006 with a company called Bear Stearns. So long story short, I've been trading for 30 years, and I'm also learning the markets as you are all learning it. And I have traded a bunch of things, stocks, commodity, futures, forex, and that's why we really came up with a product with Metastock called Forex Traders Advantage. And I've been trading different styles, different things, computer algorithms, right? Robotics. I spent a lot of years for that. And we came up with a new idea, which is a scalp swing, which takes like a swing trading 3-4 days. You could do in a day or day and a half or two. So we reduced the times thing having this new technology. And I have also worked as a money manager. Now, only what I teach which works in a real time, And we all know that 90% of the education today is hypothetical, and also CFTC asking us to tell them we are doing all hypothetical. Now, what is Magic Trader? Magic Trader is a risk-based, multi-risk-based analyzing software, and basically bunch of symbols and bunch of colors and numbers. So we got away with a lot of technical analytical work, having these colors and symbols and lines. So we have also people coming to my other webinars, and we will take somebody have never traded, right, and show them, and they up and running in a short period of time. And that's why it's a visual, plus you could scan it, and you could do to the point and pinpoint entries with this software and a less risk. Now, why I invented, as I mentioned before, that I was traveling with Reuters and I did not have a time to do technical analysis, and waking up 3 hours in the nighttime and doing the trading plan and all other happy stuff, and then call a broker to trade for me while I'm talking publicly. So I figured out that there must be a way that I don't need to do these repeat things, right? Because it's a redundant. Every day you got to do same thing, and we come up with a new invention which did not existed before. Now, Magic Trader on a surface looks like a little bit iceberg. However, from the picture you could see is very deep, and there are color candles. That's why I relate these fishes. And when I was designing this software, I realized that market is huge and how to figure out all the risk. And it got to be a way to represent it. And I also realized that it is like a galaxy. So the combined effect is been orchestrated into the software. Don't get intimidated. You don't need to learn everything. Now, the basis of this software is I come up with a concept called believeness. When everybody believe, or a bunch of people believes that we're going to go long or a short, software reflect those instantaneously. And that's where we following, right? Everybody follows the trend, but we wanted to know exact moment. And that's what software does. And it can be done in a bullish or bearish direction. And we came up with the idea line in a sand. And what it means, on one hand, there are all bullish believers, on another hand, there are bearish believers. And also we come up with another line which provides one of the feature is automatic kind of trailing stop. So you don't need to worry about stop, where to put a stop. And it's been working great. And that two lines are called magic lines, and they are not moving averages. We have nothing to do with moving averages. So what I discover in a pattern filing, the market trades in 8 dimensions. And these are the list of the dimensions. And today we're going to talk about in detail one of the dimension, which is a price risk, and it is called sectional, and I'll explain in a minute. So these are 8 dimensions. These are 4 of them, and I will brief it a little bit, and we will detail the first one. Now, Magic Trader's price sectional risk, it is also known as a dynamic sectional price risk. Also, it's a price perception risk. And in one of the what I call invention is that generally we all trading, we're going long or short, but we're talking about either buy or sell. And what I discovered that further to buy or sell, there are divisions in that, and you could also electronically visualize it. So such as different types of colors indicates, in this case, say like A, B, C, right? It is for bullish side. There are 3 of them. Then D is kind of dual functionality, and E and F are for shorting or going short practically when security is going down, right? So you could identify them. So also you could control your risk based on these colors. And also you could scan in Explorer. Also, we have this advanced price preceptors, which are capital letter, and that also helps to locate pinpoint entries and also has a more good risk accumulated at those points, and you could enter pinpoint there. So basically, the whole software is based on a risk rather than a price. Now, the another one is a vertical dimension. So we have, just like Fibonacci, so we took another route we invented called zone levels, and they are more flexible and they adapt the market changes as we go in a real time. And in my opinion, Fibonacci's are static. So we come up with the dynamic levels, which changes and also gives you a window of the risk in those different zone levels, right? So we come up with that dimension. Then horizontal time risk, what I also discover that all the risks which are related to the time we could identify in a real time, which has the effect of timing. So that is represented on horizontal scale. And everybody's used to having the Metastax software. They call it a ribbon. In our language, we call them horizontal time risk. Now, magic health risk. So I always wanted to know, just like a patient and a doctor, what is going on inside. Looking outside, you cannot say, so we go and use different medical devices. So I wanted to know what is really happening inside of the security. So we came up with a indicator which comprises of bunch of indicators, 6 other indicators, which measures different section of the security health. And that also gave us more confidence of trading. So you become a doctor practically without being a degree of the doctor. Then we also found out that market makes sudden changes and we wanted to identify when. So that the invention gave us the idea when the sudden risks are changed or like instantly in a market. So it helps us to manage the risk. Now we also discover the trend change and risk warnings. So as a trader, I wanted to know I need to be notified when the risks are changing, say like we going from bearish to bullish, and it has to be identified with a pinpoint entry. So we came up with an idea which is represented by, say, yellow bar for bullish believers and indigo bar for bearish believers. And also trend change can be represented by turquoise color and golden bar for bearish believers and turquoise bar for bullish believers. Then in a market, there are special conditions. So what we did, we sequentized them and grouped them together on a special conditions which accumulate. So what transpired that I knew is there, but I could not locate and pinpoint them. So we grouped them. So when good risk for bullish believer accumulates, I could take advantage of that. Then fundamental risk. So like countries are going to collapse, right? And major changes are coming in a market. We want to identify. So I figured out how to do it. And one of the example I want to give you, we designed called bond inversions and scan them on a multiple time frames, means a different kind of bonds. And I have predicted since 2018, the current March 2020 crash before it happened because of this software we found out. And the first time this software was used in 2006, we applied that along with my other invention. And I have written maybe 5,000 posts and telling everybody to get out of this market. And I was one of the first few to put it in writing with actual levels before it happened. So how it all this, we knew it because of this software. And there are a lot of evidences for that. So this software has helped me to predict two major crashes. And I have somebody will be talking about it. The eyewitness is in Chicago, and hopefully they could speak about it. Now, these are a bunch of patents and trademark. It is on our website. You could look it at. So we believe in intellectual properties. My daughter and I work very hard to create all these things. And she's the one designer of all the different colors and a lot of formulas behind the scenes. She helped me to do it. And she was very young when we started. Now, here are some of the features. Magic Trader has a 8 dimension, and one is written separately because we are still in a patent filing, right, and a patent examination as we speak. So I decided to notify that we have another dimension market trades into. And what I did here, there are a bunch of things related to the risk because the software is based on multi risk dimensions. So the one which has a colors, right, blue color, risk allocation. So when I traded as a professional, we allocate the risk and we want to identify what those risks are. So I wanted to know on a chart. So we came up with an idea how to show in a real time, any time frame, suppose 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever you guys decide, we wanted to know. So I will explain to you later on an actual chart where to look for it. Then designation also, I'm going to show you how to do it. And this is one of the best invention out of all, risk transfer in a real time. I wanted to know when the bullish believers transfer their power to bearish believer, and I want to see in a real time. And there was no such thing available anywhere. So I have many inventions just for that. So this particular product what Metastock is now distributing has a bunch of them in there, and we will show you where it is. Now, forecasting. This software has maybe, right, 30, 40 of them, but this version has one forecasting feature, which I'm going to explain to you. So pay attention to number 3 and number 4. I'll show in a real time, as well as during this slide presentation. And it is happening and people are using it and they are benefiting it. Now, we have a commentary window, right? So you don't need to go crazy. Jeff will explain to you when I'm done. So you could also see many things out of these features into the commentary window. Now, we have about 58 different indicators. Out of that, I pointed down the bond inversion because that made a history. And I have people in this room, bunch of people we invited, right? They have seen me talking, using it before the crash, and we telling everybody is going to crash based on these inversions. And we were scanning before it happened that and telling everybody is going to crash. So you have that power in your hand. Another important thing is magic line. So we have a bunch of time frames pre-programmed it. So you could just go and use it all the way to quarterly. So mega trend development happens, and now we could identify through these magic lines. And those magic lines, once they crosses, right, and again, they are not moving averages. When they crosses, especially on a bigger time frame, huge movement happens in a market. And we could identify, and you could also find those events into your explorers. Now, these are a bunch of explorers. I pointed out here 5 ingredients. We're going to talk about it. And the option, because what I always wanted to know, when I could buy the puts or calls and which time frame as well as which candle, right? I had to enter in. So it does all my work. So what we did it, we created an explorer for daily, weekly, 60 minutes and 15 minutes, and they show you in a real time, right, where those locations are. So you could scan it and get going. So of course, you have to still select all these different chains, option chain, but this gives you an idea. And then there is a way you go on a smaller time frame and you still apply the expert and analyze them. So it shows all these symbols over there too. So it is 2-in-1, and there is a expert I'm going to show you for people who don't want to trade the option. We have a separate expert, and you could apply that expert to your charts. And there are a bunch of volume related things, and there is something new you could look at when you download this software. Now, volatility is a new, different than implied volatility, and it gives you also setups, and you could scan them. Now, as I said, there are two explorers. One is for regular trading without options, and one with an option, and you could trade still the equities with that explorer. It's 2-in-1, and these are a bunch of templates comes with the software. Now we're going to get started diving deep into how to trade with this software. There's so many things in this software, so I suggest people who don't know anything about this software. It's very easy, and it is also available into the commentary window, and you could educate yourself, and it finds things for you. And Explorer also finds things for you. So if you can recognize, it's very simple. It's a green vertical line and a red vertical line. This is one of the things you want to look at. Then there are two horizontal lines. One is a purple line, one is kind of blue line. Then we call them as a spike, which are triangles, right? It's a self-recognized object here. And then two thin vertical lines, right? One is green, one is red. So you got to find those things on a chart, and we're going to dive into in a few minutes. And then this is the ribbon, which is a horizontal time risk. And this is what basically drives the whole entry process on a bear side and a bull side. So it is also explained here, and you're going to get the recording so you could study it. Now is the same slide, but when to enter trade setups, we found all these things, when to enter. So the invention shows different colors. So black color, yellow color, and turquoise color bar, we call bar, but it's a candles. When you identify and these 5 things are in place, you're good to go. You don't need technical analysis. And I'll show you on a chart how this thing works very simple way. And we have been going into a webinar presentation for a year. Ordinary people we take, they never traded, and we show them they're up and running. And I will introduce later on somebody, let her tell you what it was, right? And she had no idea about difference between bull and bear. It's unreal. So same thing, suppose you want to go in a bearish trade. So you identify black color candle, same black color, because it also identified transfer of power, right? So it is good. The same color works on a bullish side and a bearish side. Then you could identify by golden bar, right? And price preceptors, as I mentioned before, A, B, C, D. And I want you to pay attention because this is huge. And different color of like a price bars, right? Tells you when the institution coming and going, and different kinds of institution. And this is big. I was trading as an institutional trader, and we used to move the markets. When prices are dropping, we will keep buying. They call it a clip. Each clip is 50,000. So I talk to other traders on a Merrill Lynch dress or whatever, and telling that I'm buying 10 clips. I don't have to tell them I'm buying 100,000 shares, 10 clips, right? So that's where all this, my research came from, because I was one of them doing it. And I always dream how I could see on a chart, right? So I don't have to call my friends, and you don't need to call anybody. You could identify yourself. And including this week, right? Because I have friends sending me, right? And in my alert room, right? I sent them the text, and they knew, and they verified on a chart, and it was crazy. And they realized when they were buying bunch of Apple calls, we already knew there is an activity going on, unusual activity. We already knew. Just looking at the chart, there's something going on. We don't need to know who's buying it, but institutions are buying. So I will show you where those locations are. Now, as I said, buying is not the same color you used to. And if you spend a lot of time, it's fine because you don't know anything about what is going on. But people around me knew for 15 years, this is what it is. And now you're going to be knowing. Now, this color, when you see, is we call it green, but according to Metastock coloring system, is a dark yellow, even though it's green. And you're going to find it on a actually on a highlight section of Metastock, all these colored candles. Then this one is a bright green, where I'm going to explain in a few minutes who is coming and going or who's taking positions here. We're going to talk about it. And this is the real green color, which you used to use for candlesticks. So there are two more additional candle colors for just for buying. Same thing when people are buying and selling, both ways you could identify, and a software tells you when to go long or short in that case, because D has a dual functionality. This type E color is for when institutions start shorting the stock or selling off everything. So that's the initial earlier entries you could get in there. And this is your regular color of the red color candle. So this was the one of the biggest breakthrough, right? And then we wound up getting pattern for that. Now, I'm sorry. So these are the advanced price preceptors which you could use as an entry, either for option or for equities, and you just have to scan them and find them, right? So all greens are bullish side, and all these two reds are for bearish side, and D has a dual functionality, as I mentioned. So D2 is for bullish believers, and D1 is for bearish believers. And every single thing you see, more or less, you could scan it individually to group together. So we're giving you a lot of flexibility. That's why there are 39 explorers. Now, the charting system, before we get there, I want to get you get to used to this thing. So the same three different color of green, right? The candle looks like this on a chart, and it has a symbol, B symbol, and C symbol, and we call them in a basic categories. Now, this A1, B1, and C1 falls under advanced category, and they are shown on a chart with A1, B1, and C1. That's what you need to know. However, who's buying at that time? Prices are going down, but you see this color, right? And it shows this, it is turning back, right? Because institution has to buy when prices are dropping. They are the one who change the trend. They are the initial buyer, and prices could be going down because that's what we used to do: short it in a strength, right, and buy into weakness. And now you have the power to identify those moments. And many times they do short covering, so you could identify a color either way. They are the best identification for institution when they are buying or selling. In this case, they are buying. Now, this is my favorite color, which you could scan it. And this is real good, powerful colors where large, medium, all kind of institutions buying and small percentage of us buying it. And you could identify in real time, in any time frame, daily, weekly, whatever you want. Also, what also I realized on a trading days, there is a different thing going on than what they're doing on a large scale, right? So you could identify these colors in a smaller time frame when they're trading this try to do test drives, right? And you could see them coming while other time frames are retracing. So it also gives you good idea. Say for instance, JK Solar, it happened today, right? And you could identify them. Now, same token on a bearish side, these are the colors and it's a self-explanatory items. And here is a mix bullish, right? D2. So D2 is for bullish direction and D1 is for bearish direction. So we're going to go on a chart. You're going to see these things. So don't get confused. It looks like too many fishes, ocean, different color fish, but you got to pick up what you want. You can't eat all fish every day, right? So you pick up a couple of fishes and they are all designed to trade individually and group together. And what I discovered, there are more than 500 risk and their combination and permutation is unreal. So in that case, we don't need to worry about all these things. We put it in your symbol section of expert. You could see them listed. You could see all the colors, graphics, everything there. And it's easy to learn because once you see that the theme is the same, it's all about risk, but they have a different color and different symbol, just like here. And manual covers all these things. It comes with the manual. So you don't have to become scientists to figure out all these things. Now, this is the chart. You see all different colors we were talking about in a reality. So say for instance, right, I'll give you a little bit, what do you call, heads up. So we're talking about price preceptor, which is this color. So you enter here and look, it's a self-explaining to you where it went. So you could scan these bars in any time frame using the Explorer, and you're good to go. So you know that institutions are coming in here, right? And they skip because it was a sudden, like a trend change probably, right? And they started buying it and they skipped the first step. And it happens, they skipped a lot of things. They are in hurry. And if you can see it, we talked about, right? This was the warning, right? And you could trade option. So YB4 is a symbol that 15 minutes, those things were happening, is shown here. And you buy an option, right? And you know the history, what happens to that option prices. So it is as simple as that. So these different colors are the price preceptors you already learned a few slides ago. And this is the actual chart. And these are not moving averages, so don't confuse with that. It had nothing to do with moving average. So you could see, and Jeff is going to talk later about these magic lines. And you could see all these different things we talk about. Ingredients are here, and we're going to talk in details in the next slide. Now, everybody can see it here. This is current Tesla chart, I think 2 days ago. And I want to go through the steps here. So when you get this software, you're going to see the chart. So how to identify the entries. So 5 ingredients, that's what you need to identify. So green direction line, which is very simple vertical line, and we call this one as a health indicator or health window. As I mentioned, there are 6 different kind of sub indicators in there, and you don't need to worry about right now, but anybody who don't know anything, you identify vertical line and you could scan it too. And that is for bullish believer because it has a green color. So now these 2 line technically has to be horizontal. In that case, this is the purple line and this is a blue line. Any high school student can identify. That's the route we took it while we were designing the software. So it cannot be intimidating people. Oh, I need 3-4 years of technical analysis. I got to spend thousands of dollars in all this education. We don't have time. My problem was different. I don't have time because multiple businesses and I'm traveling and I have to still make decisions in a shortest period of time. So this is the end results. Now We call this one as a spike. This is number one. No, number three, sorry. So dotted spike, it is for bullish believers. So that's what you need. So we tell them, suppose you wake up today and you saw this turquoise bar. On the left, you look at the spike, which is okay. You see on the top, this direction is clear. So I enter in here. And that's about it. You don't need to be scientist. You got yellow bar telling you we could go uh, warning sign. It is changing from bearish trend to the bullish trend. This is the warning sign. And it also tells you you could buy an option. You can't go wrong. And you can see yourself what it did in Tesla. Now, in here, there is number three and number three. And I will give you a little quick lesson once I finish with explaining number four and number five. We call number four as a pure health. So now, when purity happens in your body, your sugar is fine, everything is fine, right? We want to know when is the best time, right? So that is that base time vertical lines. And as you go horizontally, as I mentioned, the risk gets higher, right? That doesn't mean you cannot trade it, but if you see number three and three, right, and there is a line here, that means we're good to go. You don't need to worry about it and being skeptical about it. However, this number runs from 1 to 6. 1 is the lowest risk and 6 is the highest risk. So I try to trade, right, with the 1, 2, and 3 so I can sleep well because I'm a conservative trader and I have to manage the risk. So I'm not aggressive trader anymore. However, it is true if you have a turquoise bar came after number three, you could still trade. Not just giving you heads up. So in a right hand side, I enlarge this thing so you could see the numbers clearly. In this case, you had number three came in and you could see the movement happen there. Type B color candle, you can't miss it. And that's how easy to trade with this thing. The last thing is the horizontal time risk, which is called as a ribbon. We call them horizontal time risk because all the risk has a time factor are accumulated into these colors. And that's about it. Now you're in business to trade and you could scan each and every single 5 components inside your Explorer. And that's how you could get the lowest risk entry without doing too much technical analysis. And that's what I was struggling for years to figure it out. And I always wanted to relate the risk in trading because professional world is all about risk. And I want to identify those particular candles or particular timing when I have a less amount of risk. Timing means time risk is low because we just started here and health is good. Here everything is lining, right? Two horizontal line, vertical risk, we good to go. In 5 minutes, any new person can identify. And we, including yesterday, we have people doing the trials, right? You have never traded and identify them on a chart. So you could do it. Now, same thing, another chart, and which become a history. And I have given this in stages where it was happening with a bunch of traders on Facebook, sending them what is going to happen next. Exact every single thing developed here in a real time. We communicated with my team. We have a bunch of team leaders, and they are a bunch of here. They have been invited here, right? So practically, they can also testify here. It happened in front of their eyes, and Magic Trader become instrumental. Now, the way in which it works is the opposite of bullish believers. So in this case, same thing, red vertical line, two lines are parallel. That's what we need to eyeball it. Then spike, red color, then vertical line here, and horizontal line is red. So you're good to go. So you line them with the eyeball and go into the trade. Now, just twist to the puzzle is what I would like to do, trade below these two magic lines. And that way I pay a little bit more price in a short side, right? More price means I got to pay when you want to short it. They give you hard time, right? You got to wait for uptick. So it's okay. So little bit less profit because if I shorted here, I could do it. But you could see here, it's set up its stage here. It says put, so buy put. That D1 going both ways are here. Look, D1 it does dual function. It can go either way. And here another one, another one. And what I have learned, and this is also telling to buy a put before we went down, it's telling you we're going to go down. So it helps me to wait, right, and ready for making a move to short the hell out of the market. And this is the Dow chart, and exactly to 24. So everybody got caught by surprise, but we were ready. And I was talking about this thing because the emergent market is going to crash, and I was waiting for that day, and it did happen. And you could see it was 9,300 points down. And in Chicago, I spoke. On Atlanta, I spoke. I gave them actual calculation. It's going to go around $18,000, not $18,000, 18,000 points down, and it did happen. So with this software, you could pre-calculate the upcoming levels, right? If you know how to use it. So it has a lot of features in there hidden. You just have to figure out where it is. And as you can see, right in this chart, the vertical line came in, right, around 323. Look at this here. And the bull came in, and that was the turning point of this market. Look at second bull came in, it consolidated here, and then after it never stopped. So this safe zone was around 21,000 in this, and I like to go in here, right, a little bit more conservative, so I don't have to worry about getting in trouble. But if you want, you could buy a call option right here, and there are ways to take their risk. And it was perfectly lined up, the reversal of the market, and software helps you to identify them. And it was giving me heads up there will be a trend change right here. So short covering, right? And you could see here, right, they have a different number right here, number 5, right? I do believe that 6 got eliminated, or probably I don't know what happened, but this could be 6. So after 5, it is risk to short it. As long as you know, it's fine. You could still short it. And we have a reversal, look, counter cycles here. So software tells you when the counter cycles are getting created. So you are more kind of ready for the upcoming risk in opposite direction. So what I did it here, I took that same chart, what you see it, and tried to put both entries for bullish believers and bearish believers in one chart, which you already saw it along with different price preceptors. So you could see here, this lined up. This was already there. Right? We had the vertical line came in, pure health. Horizontal time risk was red. Be good to go. And I like to enter here. And it was also telling me we're going to go down, right? It is on the top. And look at here, put option, you could have bought put here, and the counter cycles came in here, and you could short cover yourself up, and then it changed. So it is very simple system. It's not complicated. It looks too many symbols, but if you went to high school or a kindergarten, play around with crayons, you could do very good job here identifying different colors and lines. And that's about it. This software is not that complicated. It sounds complicated, but it's not. Now, I want to give you my history with Reuters, Metastock. I started my journey with them in 2003. I met somebody, one of the director in New York, and I told him that we could do better for your software. And I strike a deal, and Jeff will tell you I broke all the records. Jeff was looking at a couple of days ago. He was laughing. Wow. So I kept quiet. I like to keep low profile. My history in a various industry, I don't like to make too much noises. I'm a quiet guy, but when I feel comfortable, I talk. Now, I strike a deal back in days in 2003 with the Reuters, then 2008 became Thomson Reuters, now Blackstone, Refinitiv, etc. So I wanted to give you an idea that what my relationship is and when really started. 2006, as I mentioned to you, it started with the Bear Stearns and then Oppenheimer Fund and many other institutional entities I have dealt with. And in a forex market, I made a name for myself, and thanks to Metastock to help me to get there. So I have traded a lot of markets, and Metastock really helped me a lot. Now, this is the version. So we dealt with more or less professional people who has a license. I felt comfortable to trade with them live for years, right? And I dealt with institution. And this is the first time I'm going on a retail end, to be honest with you. That's why you didn't hear from me. Now, during this journey, recently, what we did it, we gave it to a bunch of people, trial version kind of things, 814. Then on 910, we open up an alert service where 2 days a week, I gather a bunch of traders, right, and try to train them. And first 10 days, they were doing positive trades. These are all documented, and they have testimonials, even put it on my group on a Facebook. Then what we did it, we created a competition. These are the people never traded. Some of them never traded, had no idea. 929, we have competition in place, and we completed 1 week later. And I discussing evaluating their trades every Saturday, and they will learn more out of the evaluation what they did right and wrong. And they fortunately have many of them, or most of them, have positive trades. Now, as I said, we have a Facebook group. We started a little bit over a year ago, and we have 2,300 people already there because people recommending other people, inviting them, and now we have a bunch of people understanding, and there is a lot of time has spent there for you to learn there. And I write articles every day. Now we are doing evaluation. Now you got this new release, and now we are doing within a couple days an option competition. And these people, some of them never traded options in their life, and now they are entering into competition. That tells you the story. How much is the learning curve? Now we're going to talk a little bit about alert service that we started in 910. You have to have Metastock and Magic Trader in order to even come there. Otherwise, you don't know what I'm talking about. And you have to sign confidentiality agreement because we don't want people to broadcast all these things, and they don't even have a software, and you're telling them to buy or sell, and you get in trouble. And this is not a get-rich scheme. I want to be very honest and upfront with you. A lot of efforts has gone into that. We want to do it right. I'm also registered. You got to think that way. So we have to follow the laws. And soon there will be a premier room because these people are going to graduate from what they're doing right now. And I want to advance them to institutional side. That's what I'm doing it. So what I want to show people that we could take ordinary person who never traded and make them institutional trader or professional trader. And that's what I'm doing it. And these people, hopefully they can, if we have time, they could tell you what is really happening. Now, these are the links. Jeff has it. You could go and ask him. He will give you all testimonials. And there are so many of them. Now, I want to introduce to you my dear friend, Angie, and she will tell you the rest of the things. So Angie, would you please talk to these people?
Yes, thanks, Peter. So if there's one thing that Peter has taught me is you need a disclaimer. So this is my disclaimer, and my performance falls under the hypothetical category as per CFTC regulation. Results may vary time to time, and there's no guarantee for the same results. So, as Peter was saying, I was just going to say, as Peter was saying that
freely whatever you want.
Well, yeah, I am not an institutional trader. I have 2 master's degrees in education. I work in a public school as a reading specialist and an ESL teacher. And I started using Magic Trader Elite at the end of August and joined the educational alert trading room at the beginning of September, where I was learning about the 5 ingredients that Peter just went over before with bull and bearish believers, which I didn't even know the difference between a bull and a bear. I thought a bear was positive because it was bigger, but it turns out that a bear is when the market's going down. So I am now using the 5 ingredients methods to trade. And I started paper trading at the beginning of September and have since moved into live trading in November. And I have Peter's seen my trading record for.
And MetaStock has also a real-time statement.
Yeah, so I'm really confident now using the software because, as he said, if you can identify colors and the 5 ingredients, then you're set to go. And that's what I do. I look at the market in the morning. What's happening? What's the VIX number, and is it going to be a bearish or bullish kind of day? And I analyze the charts and I'm set to go. So if I can do it, having no experience trading before, I believe since you're here at this webinar, you are light years ahead of where I am. It's pretty straightforward how the software works. And I enjoy it because I feel like when I'm looking at the charts, it's like I'm looking behind the curtain and I get to really see what's happening with the market rather than just seeing 2 different color candles. I know really what's happening and I feel very confident to pull the trigger and make a trade.
Angie, I have a question for you. Do you know any technical indicators?
I don't even know what that means, Peter.
Folks, listen to this girl. She don't know anything about any technical indicators.
No, I don't know.
Do you know anything about moving averages?
No, but I know about zone levels that you've taught me in the trading room, which I think it has something to do with Fibonacci, but I'm not trained enough, or I don't know enough about the Fibonacci sequence, but I heard you say something about the zone levels having to do with Fibonacci. So something to look into.
Right. So actually the zone levels are different from Fibonacci because Fibonacci's are static levels. So we wanted dynamic levels, right? As it's happening. So we could see real time, real supports and resistance levels. And the software does by itself, right? We don't need to worry about it. And it's still working better than Fibonacci. That's what the goal was. And that's how we got the patent for. So look at this girl, had no idea about anything, and look what he's doing. This is what we really want to do. Take an extraordinary people who has a heart to put some time into and make them the best trader out there. And without going through all this technical thing forever. And we do not need to do anything with traditional indicator. They are working up to a point, but we wanted to do instantaneously. That's why we came up with this idea. All right, I really appreciate, and hopefully people who are listening take inspiration from this girl who had no idea about trading. And this is what I want to do on a large scale. That's why we're going in the retail. So we could beat institution with their own game. That's the purpose. And power will be given to little guys. That's what really I'm spending my rest of life now. All right, folks. So what we're going to do, we're going to look at some charts, right? And we could have some question. Jeff will administer some question because I had to look around 2 different screens. So if there is any question, Jeff, you are most welcome to entertain, and I will do the explanation here.
I laughed out loud over the comment on the bears are bigger. I just thought that was amazing. Thank you, Ashley.
Do you need to know about all these things? No, you don't need it. So this is the beauty about all these things. So
we have a
yeah.
question I'm going to jump to in the GoToWebinar room. Samir wants to know. He said I play both U.S. and Indian markets. Have you tested this on in Indian market?
In fact, Jeb, it is true because Nifty, I made even a special market condition for Nifty, and I traded in Indian market long time, right? First 4 or 5 years, definitely on a daily basis, and it works. I have traded Europe, I have traded Indian market, any exchange, anywhere, as long as Reuters gives the data feed. And I got news for you. We don't have time, but I will send it to you. And whoever wants it, when Reuters make me available coronavirus, right, data, and when administration was telling, oh, it's going to go down in October, and my software is telling me we're going to go still higher. And you saw coronavirus going crazy. And same 5 ingredients stated that we are not done with it. So that answer anything, as long as Reuters gives the data feed, you could do whatever you want to evaluate it.
I think it might be important to point out it'll also work on Forex and futures and ETFs and that kind of stuff as well.
Yeah, that's correct. And the software is suitable for anything, right, which Reuters gives. So any market, futures, I traded S&P futures so many years with the same thing. You see, right? S&P future is really my kind of liking things because we are really depending as a professional trader on S&P futures. So it does work in any market. As long as Reuters gives them data feed, you're good to go. So this is kind of layout I am using personally. That doesn't mean you need to use that layout, but I want to point it out a couple of things. So this is a weekly chart. This is a daily chart. This is 60-minute chart, and this is a 5-minute chart. The way in which I do things, I want to know where we're going first. So for instance, anybody has a suggestion, you want me to look at that chart instead of my chart here? So this way I have no bias. So I could do some kind of.
Oh, you're going to get some symbols if you ask for them.
Yeah, please. Yeah, let them give me. So I will do other things, explanation with the symbols they like it. So
I know a guy who likes a little bit of RCL every now and then. So
right, RCL, let's put it in. I will give you my interpretation of the charts. All right, I just explained to you guys. Look at this here, weekly chart, vertical line. That's what I'm looking at, and everybody should look at with me. Look at here, vertical lines. 2 lines are parallel, then spike, and this one for health, pure health, and horizontal time risk ribbon. So this is a bullish trend long term, and magic lines are facing up, and it's already crossed here. So this stock is very bullish. Now look at here, the current setups here, vertical line on a daily chart, 2 lines, right? Here is a horizontal, so we could pick up this entry here, spike, and this entry or this entry doesn't matter, and horizontal time risk, and we're good to go. It is bullish. Now look at here, software gave you heads up warning, we're going bullish. And let me pull it out so people can look at properly. I'm going to enlarge it so whoever asked for it, right, they could see it a little bit better. So as we talked about it, right, this dual candle, right, and that functioned 2 ways. So in that case, it was going down, and you could see here it was indicating up to this point, and then counter cycles happening, and trend change was indicated. Turkish bar came in. This is that invention that, hey, we're going to make the turn here. And then the bull came in. So the line alignment of these indicators, right, happens. Sometimes it's on a left side one, a right side one, but the theme here is we have warning, we're going long. So if you are short here, get the hell out of it. Then entries, you could pick it up. And now people who are depending upon the forecasting, right? It was forecasting, we're going to go higher. And let's see if it went or not. It did went up higher, right here. So practically, you could also predict your own future with that. And this kind of reversal sign, but it is consolidating in daily chart right now. And there is a lot of choppiness. Health is not smooth here. That's what it tells me. So I like to get it cleared if I want to enter here. And look here, it says call C+. So it is not C++. So I will be also reluctant, and horizontally from this time when it lined up here, it is too long, it's been going. So practically, I like to stay away from this kind of stock on a daily basis. Go ahead.
No problem. Let's jump to a different one. Let's do TSLA.
All right.
Unless you wanted to talk about it for some more. I didn't mean to push you.
No, no, listen, I enjoy because, trader likes to talk about chart, not about theory.
All right, let's talk about some Tesla
This is the gold mine. Look here, Jeff. Health is perfect, right? Two vertical line, that number one. Number two parallel line. We got a spike, right? And everything matching. And they're in hurry. Look at this here, from red to green right away. They're in hurry. We got okay from the bull, and look what happened. And folks, these are the zone levels, which are not Fibonacci, right? That I assure you. But they have flexibility. Look here. And how to find, so you go and apply the same one on a weekly, and then you get the level. And it is true, I'm not opening can of worm. We have technology. And Anji, why don't you get in and tell what you eyewitness, we COUP and a bunch of them, and the all evidences are on a Facebook group. I'll tell the Facebook group, hey, Dow is going to go to 28,000. And guess what? I'm telling them when it is 25,000, because the software has a predictability, right, to calculate even those levels. So when I applied in 2006, right, I told the Dow is going to go to 6,300, 6,500 level. How the hell I knew? Because I did calculate it. And the software has capability, but those actual scanner are not available in this version. It's up to Metastock later because that's the institutional product. But I just want to tell you what this software is capable of it, right? In a large service, people get the theme of those levels. I reach out to them. This is the level, right? Software predicts things like that. So that's the advantage. Now, again, the application. Look here. Suppose you missed here. So you come in here. What it says here? Jeff, can you read it? What it says here?
Let's see. I blind in one eye and I can't see the other eye. But it does say earlier highs 3.2, I believe is what you're pointing at.
So everybody pay attention. You don't know anything about the risk. You just have to know that number 3 comes in and it's on a bullish side. It is something happening for future, right? So now what this means. So number 3 is a designation, it's a category of the risk. And in the scale of 1 to 6, number 2 falls under low risk. So in this case, we skipped number 1, but number 2 risk is still fine. And again, this color, bright color, oh my God. And you could scan this color, right? And you could find every event when this color is shown. So you go there and if you see 3 number underneath and number 2 risk, that means you're good to go. Oh, it's near this resistance. My boss or my trainer told me, no, we have to short it. No, we are going higher. So Peter is buying here. That's what we're doing here. We got everything ready. So before it breaks out, software gives you all the clues. You could go long. So how much more simple it could be? Oh, it's too big a risk. We keep on going. My software says it's low risk, and you're telling me it's bigger risk. And before it breaks out, we already knew. So we load it up right here and good to go.
What is if I can push you a little bit more in this, what would you look at as criteria to exit hypothetically?
Oh,
This
exit is
chart.
fine. Yeah, let's try some. Hold on a second. The criteria, one of the exit criteria, I use it when things close below this magic line, I'm out. That's one criteria. Or I use this spike. When it starts happening, this spike, I'm out.
That's very clear.
About it. Huh?
That's very clear and very straightforward.
Yeah.
Let's look
So,
at-
say for instance, look at here. Look, Jeff, we don't need to be scientists here, right? Doesn't matter what level you come in here. Look, we went in there, right? Looking at parallel line, vertical line, spike, and we're good to go here. Okay. So now what we do here? PB, right? Which is pullback. The pullback practically is supposed to be temporary. However, we get a spike here. So as soon as you see the spike, you get out. I don't wait until it goes below it because I'm making money. So I have to be greedy. Get out. And you could always re-enter on a new setup. So my experience with this software and a lot of people, your rate of return happens in the shortest period of time. Okay? And you don't waste time for all this, inventing things when I have to enter, when I have to go. And I just saw it, right? Whatever the security was there. This RCL, Jeff, this is for a day trader. Let's see here. Suppose you are a day trader, you don't want to be bothered about. So what you do is so simple. And this is what I did with JKS today. Exactly. Look here, same principle, it all lines up, right? So now you enter here and you saw spike or direction line and I am out. So I got alerted from pullback, right? I'm tightening my screw. And another thing I look at, my risk is higher. So I'm in the trade, what I should do. I am getting out. And this is the reversal of yellow bar. They're giving you warning. And usually on a short side, it happens so fast. So I would rather get out of the trade as soon as the spike start forming because the confirmation of 3 legs here, right? So 2 here and middle. So you get half of that and I'm out. This is the beauty about this spike.
All right, let's take a look at Samir. Would like to look at MU.
MU, Micron. And I'm not trading any of those, but Micron, right? I'm waiting for, right, the entries in my, in my option account. Right now, I'm not trading any of those. I don't know anything about this stock, to be honest with you, because I'm not trading right now. So I have no bias against them at all. I'm giving you my own interpretation. So please, this is for education purpose. Don't make trading decision because you don't have software. You don't have training how to really use it. So I'm trying to find it. What is the easiest way to find it?
I think it's just MU. Let me, I've got Metastock up here. MU.O is what you'll type in.
MU.O, okay. This is what happens when you don't trade those stocks.
Yeah, I haven't looked at Micron, but I've actually, never mind.
All right. So do you want a daily chart or a full set? Oh my God, look at this here.
Daily, it would be fine.
Yeah.
I mean, look at
here.
Peter, I'm going to break in a little bit here because like what I want to point out is this isn't subtle, right? Like you have the spike there, you have the vertical line, you have the health spikes, you have the dark green, everything's kind of positive. And the thing that I like about Magic Trader, and I say this in the demo that I just recorded, is you're looking at a lot of different pieces that are kind of giving you the same story, if that makes sense. So, I mean, look at where this started to get bullish on you. It wasn't being bashful about telling you that this stock is looking to like it's going to move up. Early, I can't really see what the dates are, but early in November, it's yelling at you that this is likely going to start moving up. So anyway, that's just my 2 cents.
you could, as I told you, right, you could scan this every symbol more or less here, right? So except the forecasting, right? So basically you see C1, which is my favorite to go in there, and you're good to go. Now, as you ask me, what are other points I would like to exit? I don't like risk to be more than 5 unless I have a reason to believe it. And my second thing here is once it reaches 6, I'm aware of that. The health is overextended themselves. And I have seen up to 8 on a long-term trade on a big time frames. But in a normal trading, day to day, when it exceeds or about 6, they will have a pullback. And I don't want to be a part of that because I'm a risk trader, right? It's too big a risk and I'm not greedy. So I will take, and people have eyewitness, those same people, right? One of them is Anji. I take less profit, but Magic Trader has hundreds and hundreds of setups every day. So why I want to put a lot of risk into Micron? And I leave a lot of money on table because the risk is higher, nothing more. So people can do whatever they want, but I'm always worried about the risk in a market. Take the money and run. that's the attitude I have it.
All right, Tom, I think we have one more.
Yeah,
Let's
go
take a
ahead.
look at CVAC for Tom in YouTube.
Which one is that?
CVAC. Charlie
C-
Victor Alpha Charlie.
CBAC.
Mhm.
.o.
.o.
Yeah, that all.
CureVac. I'm going to guess this has something to do with healthcare.
All right, just from what happened here is fairly new because they don't have enough data. Look at
Yeah, it
here.
doesn't. It looks like it's a new IPO. Maybe
Yeah.
out in September it released.
Yeah, because I could see from all the movement. Look at the candle color disappeared.
Mhm.
But software still performs. Look here, magic line cross here. If you were entering here, you don't even have a symbol, but we have a bull here. And so people who don't want to trade option, you could use as a regular equity entry, right? And look, another way to do it, go on a cross. And this is not moving averages. And then huge movement happens. And you could see yourself. And look here, another entry here. And start going to the moon. In my opinion, look, we got still a little bit room here because not reaching 6, right? I don't know the symbol here, but what I do, let's go to 60 minutes, Jeff.
Mhm.
The best way I trade new stock, right? And then I don't need to be having any anxiety of getting in trouble. Because when I don't have my software fully working, I have an anxiety because I'm shooting in the dark. So I would rather than go to 60-minute chart. Can you give me symbol again, please?
It's CVA Charlie Victor Alpha Charlie .o.
All right. So we're going to enlarge and let's see what happened here. So everybody can see it, right?
Yeah, we can see it.
I'm going to squeeze it so you could see events happening. So the entry came on 60-minute somewhere here. So what was that? It's 11:25, right? Around 5 o'clock if you were trading after hours. And by the way, Metastack did a great job in after hours. And I want to give you disclosure because after hours and pre-market data gets accumulated. So you will see after hours different than your regular chart. And you got to get used to because software don't care as soon as you get the data because in my opinion, pre-market and aftermarket data are real because it's happening and add into the calculation will give you better understanding for market opening and take advantage of what Metastack did it. They did a great job and gives me heads up. And I'll be honest with you, it's risky to trade pre-market. I don't have a losing trade using this magic trader in after hours and pre-markets because of this technology. And look at here, Jeff. Number 3, forecasting, we're going to the moon right here. And risk was 3, and they broke. Because of this technology, I will be going in there, even though there is a resistance in front of my eyes. Because it's telling me we're going to the moon. Let me, all right, here, every time frame it does. Look, 3.3 risk, and it's horizontal. So why are we waiting for going there? So it is so quick. Technically, if you miss this entry, you find an excuse like this to go in there and use common sense. That's what it is. And don't worry about all these technical things. I don't even draw trend lines anymore. I have no idea what is RSI anymore. I have no idea about any oscillators, CCI or whatever it is. And I was the one who was teaching thousands of people at one point. I got lazy, to be honest with you, with Magic Trader.
Okay.
So,
Well,
if anybody has any question.
No, not really. I think we've covered them all. So.
All right, then you could cover all these. One thing I want to show them where it is to find the option entry. If you allow me to just show them.
Yeah, absolutely. Right? I think that's just for people that missed it. I'm not sure that this came across clearly. Then maybe I just was getting some water or something. But I want you to talk more about call versus call plus and call plus plus.
Yes,
and what that means on a chart.
So let's see first on a chart, and then we bring the Explorer. All right. Let me find them. I think this is the regular, right? I will have to go to daily because I trade options based on, but you could use the expert. So right now, expert is one kind. You could change it to option here also. Because 60-minute is shown already on a daily chart, those options. So we don't need to waste time there. So let me clear up all this other stuff.
And while you're prepping that chart, we did have a question come in from GoTo from Samir. Do you prefer, is bigger time frames better, like weekly is better than daily?
Yes, definitely. So what I'm doing it, okay, first of all, scanner, I could scan these ribbons, right? So I will scan and pick up only which are green ribbon on a weekly chart. So now I make a custom list for those, right? Because these are long term for a week, right? Unless it's changing. Then I will scan those charts using last exploration results, right here. The last item, right? Thank to Metastat doing the great job. And then I scan again those securities for green ribbon for a daily chart. Now I'm looking for excuse to get in there. That's about it. And let me show you the plus. And can you give me any other security? Samir wants it. How about that?
Sure. Let's see.
Because this doesn't have data much.
Yeah, no. Let's look at Apple. That's always a popular one. I just don't have any right here.
Apple.
That'll
or
work.
Tesla.
You can go back to Tesla if you prefer.
Yeah. No, I don't prefer, but Tesla has everybody. I don't trade Tesla. It drives me crazy. So I have no bias here. What happened?
Okay. Tesla will work.
TSLA, right?
Dot K, I think. Or is it dot O? The trade's everywhere.
No, there's something more. Dot O. Is it TSLA?
TSLA. Dot.
TSLA or TS?
TSLA dot O. Tiger, Sam, Larry, Apple.
All right. So folks, I'm not used to the symbol because I don't trade, and it gives me a heart attack, this stock. All right, now we have it here, call plus, right? And call plus, let's see how many are there. Yeah, we got it. I'm looking for call plus here if I can find it. At least here one I saw. Here's a plus sign. Yeah. So let's talk about, suppose it was make believe, it was YB4. I want to be clear. So on a 15 minutes, there was an entry in the security. And it was lining up to buy options. So with the lowest risk in a 50-minute. So once you enter, there is a least amount of drawdown. That's what it tells you. So now this is the most priority because the drawdown has to be lowest. That doesn't mean you don't get the, suppose it's a daily chart, you could get a 60-minute also, same symbol, but it has a 3 number. So in this case, suppose there was no plus here. That means it's good. The risks are lining up to go higher, but they don't have a catalyst there. So if I had to put my money on a line, I'm looking at 2 charts, one with call and one with call plus. I would prefer call plus because my risk is low, because other good risks are lining up. So it gives me catalyst effect and it makes me quicker money. Now, if I'm comparing call plus with call plus plus, call plus plus is the best out of 3. So it has even more power, like you putting double booster in there. And that gives you more confidence to enter into option trade without any fear and without thinking much. So that's why we came up with an idea between my daughter and I, that let's take the risk, because there are thousands of risks we are aligning inside of this thing. But how to make it so simple so anybody doesn't know anything, no problem, right? And they could have less risk as long as they know the difference between call plus, and call plus plus, and they have 3 different security to select. They would be selecting call plus plus because they have a risk low into call plus rather than call plus only, or rather than call only. And that also applies to put options, same way. So like here, right? This is not the great setup, but it is a squeeze chart. And let me pull it out so people don't get confused. Let me do that. So what I do, I use it when I want it. I take it out when I don't want it. So now you could see, even though you entered here, that on the next candle, it still went down. And say low here is 401, and here the close was 417. So it doesn't look that way. It's big movement, but you better put an arrow there. It's a damn $16 difference. In a call option, you could do, or not in this case, it will be put option, sorry, because it says put here. You could do very well on Tesla. Same way here. Suppose you enter at the close here because bull is there. Close was 441, and you got out as soon as you see this PB sign. Don't wait for anybody. You don't need to wait for candle to finish. I get out when I see why I want to stay in there when there is a bridge there. It's retracing. I could go back again right here. I get better price. So I'm a trader. That's what I look for. So say for instance, you even get out halfway. So it closed at 567. You enter here at 441. Do the math on a call option. It's like no comparison. It's like unreal. And if I ever trade Tesla, I urge people to trade spread trading. And this way, you don't have to come up with a lot of money. And I do a lot of spreads, right? A lot of spreads. And I'll give you the strategies. So people wants to know what I do. My long term, I do married puts. In my IRA, I just did Exxon. I took off my my put. I made money on that, and I let Exxon ride. I did Pfizer, right, until the news came out on a Friday because of the risk. I knew something going on, so I could make more money on option. So I sold my position on a Pfizer on a Friday before that 1800 jump, and I bought call option, bunch of them, and on Monday I sell them off. And you know the history, what happened in one weekend. So how I knew about all this? Because all unusual activity I could feel from this chart. And I make decision, and I have witnesses. A lot of people we invited from current clients, right? Bunch of them are there. I wish they could talk, but they could tell you, right? I I'm very transparent with people. They look at what I'm doing it, and they get text messages that Peter is doing this, right? They could do whatever they want, but I tell them what I'm doing it. When it's finishing, I show them what it is. I don't hide anything because we are traders. So my whole thing is being transparent. They could get more confidence, but I cannot advise them because I don't have Series 763. I cannot advise them when to buy and sell, but I could tell them what I'm doing it, right? And I could show that this is the chart. That's about it. So what I was showing, Jeff, if they have no other question, right? I want to show them so they could use this option scanner. There are two of them. One is for daily and one for weekly. And what we did it out of all symbols, best out of the best, so they could use it and without doing too much work. So I just scan it today, right? Let me open up the results so they could feel better and how I am using it. So say this is dual thing, right? So in this case, YB2, this is the daily option, right? YB2 is number 2 is daily, number 1 is weekly, right? Number 3 is 60. So we are talking about daily, which is here. So these are pertaining to daily. Now, what transpire here? They have a bunch of things here. So IB is an indigo bar, right? And you could see put plus, 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 and regular one. So you could scan every single symbol here. So how I do things, I like to see where my risk is lowest. So here, and I want to see if there are other things matching too. Say for instance, right here, everything is matching. You look at this here. C++, C++. So this is the base security going long. And we could do one of these stock. Let's see Adobe, what happened that day, right? This is done on 11/25. Anybody has any choice here? Not my choice. You tell me which one you want to look at. So people feel they're winning, not me. You tell me which one you want.
Let's look at Amazon.
All right. I'm going to move this thing over. There we have a bunch of charts here. Let me close all this stuff up. I'm going to close all, right? Let's watch Amazon. Hold on a second. I'm going to leave it. I don't know. This is Amazon. Yeah, this is Amazon, right? We scan it.
Yes.
Yeah. So let's go to daily chart on 11/25. 11/25. Where is that? $11.25. Now this is the beauty about Metastock. Now we got the scanning, and this has a priority of a put option over your thing, right? That's what I look for it. So I will not take that trade. You know, right? Because the priority is put, so it was supposed to go down. So that saved me a trade.
Oh, the chart you're looking at right now is RCL. Amazon is the
RCL?
one that's, yeah, Amazon's the one that is highlighted lower.
Oh, I see. All right.
Thank you for pointing that out, Samir. Right there, that one's the Amazon chart.
Somehow this doesn't show up. What happened here? Let me close this thing. I think that's.
I think you just need to attach the expert advisor. I think it's become unattached, but.
So anybody who get this software, you could get option, right? That's what you are attached there. And there are two experts here. So anybody who wants to know where it is, one here and one here, because we went through so many versions, right? And institution versions, but for you guys, these are the two you're getting it. All right, look at here. Well, sorry about looking at the wrong chart. I'm excited too. Let's see 25. Where was? Oh, right here. Everything lines up. You see that, Jeff? By the way, I don't trade Amazon, but
Yeah.
if I was trading here, look at that. Everything lines up. You scan that and you got the coal mine here. And look at this here, the size of the bull, YB4, and a big bull came in because it's a call plus plus. So if you forgot what is the difference between plus and you saw bigger bull, so you're good to go. So let's see close price here. Because on an institution side, we don't enter until about to close. That's how I was trained. So quarter to 4, I will take the position, right? So whatever happens, then I don't care. But quarter to 4, 3:30, I will be looking to take the position. So say we bought it close price, 31.85. Let's see where it went here. High, 32.48, and somebody can do the math. 32.48 minus 31.85. So it's about 42, say 40 plus 15 is $55. So on an option, it's a lot of money. Is Samir or whoever asked for it is clear? And also you could look at on the left, there is a vertical direction line. Everything matches at that time. It's when what I learned, putting all the risk cycles together, when all the risks are correct, automatically it lines up. You don't need to struggle much. Everything lines up. Look at here, vertical line to parallel line spike, and vertical line here and horizontal. We're good to go. And entry warning came in with the biggest bull you have seen now. And anybody went to high school degree, they could feel comfortable once they know the secret here. You have any other question?
No, we have a comment. Shimori says Peter from YouTube is saying Peter's the real deal. I've been watching it happen in front of my own eyes over the last year. So thank you, Shimori.
So Shimori is the leader. We gave them a surprise inviting them, right? Because I told them I'm only taking one person there, not everybody there. So we have Shimori happened to be a trader, right? He was on a kind of a financial industry, but never traded option. Now he trades options every day. And I see their success. And they are really good people. I found, and I did not know him before.
Awesome.
So,
I think it's a good time to kind of just talk a little bit about MetaStock and kind of the integration.
Yes.
Obviously, you showed scanning.
So I'm done right now. I was showing scanning. I just want to let them know that this is the place they could find those option trades. This is for bull side, and IB is on a, and you could do scanning same way. Look, you just have to click it and look, everything lines up. And you see here, yeah, go ahead.
I already took the screen away.
It's okay.
Do you want it back?
No, it's okay. It's all right.
Okay. All right. Okay. I'm showing my Dow chart because I always show Dow on this, and I think it's fairly impressive. One of the things that for me as a new user, because I haven't been working on the coding of this, it's all been done by kind of internally by programmers, and so I've actually just started to personally learn about Magic Trader, and you guys know that I like to look at Dow a lot and that kind of stuff. But one of the things that I found personally very impressive about it is initially you look at it and there's a lot of stuff going on the chart, but once you kind of look at the details, it's a lot of stuff that's telling you the same story. So for example, like if we look here at the Dow, you guys have been watching the market, we've just hit all-time highs. But if we were looking at the market right around the election time, you're going to have this entry spike that happens right here. You have this directional spike that happens here. You're going to have this yellow bar followed by the signal that happens right here. You start trading above your magic lines of your blue lines. It gives a very, very clear story that we're about to go in and set up that it's likely to get bullish. I think it's the safest way to say that. And that's one of the things that I really, really like about it. The other thing that Peter didn't, that I just want to talk about too, is you guys know I'm a huge fan of the expert commentary. So the fact that I can come in here, I should have preloaded it, but I can come in here and I can have the commentary. I can load it up, and it has very, very good information. I'll just go ahead and make this a little bit bigger. I can drag this out, and we can go back here to kind of any day that we want. But I'm going to just pick this yellow bar. It's going to give us all this. It does. I actually like that you added this in here, Peter, the Dow and the major indexes. You can look at the important lines. It's going to give you a trading strategy overview. It's going to look at what you call the 5 ingredients and give you a bearish, bullish, neutral reading on here. It really does a good job of breaking this down. And I think you did a really, really good job. I know you did a lot of the coding on the expert commentary. I always like to talk about how much I like the commentaries. This is a very, very well-defined commentary. So good work there.
Thank you.
The other thing I want to just talk about is really how big this is. We talked about some of the core ingredients today. Peter, you did a great job of kind of identifying those and outlining them. But in terms of this add-on, it's got 58 different indicators on it. It's got 40 explorations, 2 expert advisors, 35 templates, and 120-page manual. The real goal for us, one of the things that I wanted to kind of do is come in here and really kind of be able to show you that it can help you. Because the goal that we've got is I want you to try out the Magic Trader software. If it's helpful for you, you'll have no problem with it. If it helps you find these really good trades, you'll have no problem keeping it. And so I hope that in the hour and 50 minutes that we've spent so far talking about Magic Trader, that you're encouraged to try it. Because if we can get you trying it, you're going to be able to know right away if it's going to be helpful for you or if it's going to not be helpful for you. And that's the thing I like about the lease model. So all in all, it's a huge package. It's 58 indicators, 40 explorations, 2 expert advisors, 35 templates, and a very well-written 120-page manual. And what we're doing as part of a launch for this, remember, we've worked on this for about 16 or 15 years. Peter's been working on it. We've actually spent about a year getting everything ready for release. Peter came into the office. It was last October. So not this October. It was the October before that. We started to kind of package this up. It's something that we've invested a lot of time on it. I think it's been a worthwhile investment. I want you to try it. I think you're going to love it. Normally, this thing's going to be $199 per month. What we're going to do is we're going to intro it out at $149 per month. And you can take advantage of that. Again, you're going to know within that month, hey, is this going to be helpful for me? It's not going to be helpful for me. It's going to give you a real clear idea. So give us a call, 800-882-3040. We'll be happy to help you set it up. If you have questions and we missed them in the chat, which I don't think we did, but if we have questions, chat online with one of my sales guys, metastock.com/sales chat. You can also sign up for this online if you just go to metastock.com/SDIA. I'm just looking here for a couple last comments. Travis says Magic Trader is a game changer in the Forex also. He goes on to say the indicators are like nothing I've used before. Samir says, thanks. I'm going to give this a try tomorrow. Give you a call. We'll look for that call, Samir. Thank you.
Jeff, you could tell them since 2006, right? And I have applied almost every day in a Forex market because that's the biggest risk. And we had a lot of professionals doing Forex, right, with the Magic Trader when we started. So it has been well used in a Forex market.
Yeah, in fact, that's where your roots are. That was where FX Trader's Advantage came from. So
right. Also, people who are doing Forex, this is time tested. I'm not the liberty to disclose real time because I manage people's money, and the biggest trade I have taken, not a small ones, right? On average, right? An institution side is a lot of money at the stake, and it's a very risky asset. And when you do on a leverage, it's crazy.
Samir wants to know how he can be involved in your Facebook group.
Okay, Jeff, you could send them the link of the Facebook group, right? And basically, let me go to the first page.
I think what we'll do is we'll help him with that. If you have, we'll get the information from you, Peter, and we'll get it available for everybody that wants to sign up. Yeah, Samir, we'll get you the information. Just get in touch with us at metastock.com/sales-chat, and we'll help you out.
You could tell them, because the biggest break and quickest way they could do it, come in alert room, right, and be a part of it, because we are taking ordinary people and take them to become an institutional trader and get rid of all the time wasting in between, and still they could trade for themselves. And it is happening. In a few months we open up that room.
Yes. Eugenia says, I love the Magic Trader. It's easy to understand and very helpful in knowing what's going on. As Angie said, seeing behind the curtain is so helpful. These indicators are gold. So there you go. Thank you, Eugenia. We appreciate that. Samir wants to know, is the alert group open to all Metastock users? Now, the alert group that you're talking about is the actual alert service.
Yeah,
yes
alert service. Yeah. Yes, yeah. Alert service. So live trading, analytical work, and interpretation of the chart. That's what we do there.
And we can help you get more information on the alert service, Samir. I really appreciate your interest. So yeah, just get in touch with us. We'll help you get signed up for the Facebook group, and we'll help you also get signed up for the alert service if you want to as well. All right. Peter, I think that's it.
All right. I really thank you and Angie for giving me the time. And I appreciate everybody who came in here. And you could reach out to Jeff. He has my information. We are here to help you.
All right. Yeah, give us a call, 800-882-3040. Visit us online at metastock.com/sales-chat or metastock.com/SDIA. Thank you for everybody for coming, whether it's in the YouTube room or the GoToWebinar room. I thought it was a great session. So we'll have a few more sessions here between now and the New Year's. We hope to see you at the next one. In the meantime, give Magic Trader a try. You're going to like it. And stay safe, stay healthy, and we will see you at the next one.